without the mic. Good evening. I want to first extend a very special thank you to everyone assembled this evening to help celebrate the world premiere of Vampire. The first time I read the script, I was immediately drawn to the material. I hadn't come across anything as compelling, unique, and fresh as Vampire. I instantly connected with the material and knew I had to be a part of this picture. The privilege to work with a visionary and groundbreaking director like Shunji was an opportunity I couldn't miss. Shunji is a world-class artist who I greatly admire and respect. When I learned he and his team had assembled an incredibly talented cast, it was clear to me that I had to be a part of the film. This picture has been one of the most challenging, yet rewarding projects I've been a part of. I am so sorry I couldn't be there in person with you all to celebrate. That said, please know, I am so proud of this film and hope you all enjoy it as much as we did making it. Kevin Zinkers.
Woo!
Thank you, Amanda. Thank you, Kevin. I will introduce my actors, actresses.
We weren't briefed.
We weren't briefed, but I think we're supposed to do a Q&A. So, if anybody has questions, I'm sure they're good. Yeah, should we go ahead?
Okay. I'm just going to fix this. Hello. Any questions?
Before we get to the questions, we would like to properly introduce the cast. Amanda Plummer.
Hello.
Adelaide Clemens.
Kristin Kreuk. Trevor.
Rachel Lee Cook.
Trevor Morgan.
Are there any questions, please?
Maybe start with Trevor and talk about, with all the freaky shit that you guys did, how much of that was the vision of the director was scripted, and how much of it did he allow you to take off on your own?
Are you asking if I raped a girl on Is that really a question?
That was his vision. As sick and sadistic as it was, that was all Shunji.
Thank you, Trevor.
What gave you the idea for the balloons and the harness? And doing, I don't know, it was really interesting aesthetic. And so what inspired you to go with that?
Basically, I tried to figure out how to keep holding her, and first one I thought was just put wire on the wall ceiling, but one day I don't know why, but I thought of the idea of balloon, and it was just for to keep holding her, but getting more and more and up to the almost the climax. Yeah. Question?
Over there?
I was wondering what inspired the story.
First of all, I directed made some story with some criminal and the victims, but they're not kind of hostile, kind of an enemy, but more like a friend. So I thought of the idea of the serial killer try to find the victims into the website, the suicide website. I thought of that over 5 years ago. And it was supposed to be for the not American film but the Japanese film, but exact same case happened. Some criminal, real criminal, did the same thing. So that makes me keep making that film and more. So I stopped writing the script, but last year I thought of the idea if it's not just like a criminal serial killer, but the vampire like him. It looks more like fantasy and more imaginative. So I restart the write script and then I shoot that film. But I'm not sure why, but recently the similar case happened once again, and so I was so confused. So anytime when I think of something, the real case comes after me. So, yeah.
Right here in the center, go ahead.
Could each of the actors discuss your working relationship with this director as opposed to your past experiences, the differences, and with your personal process on set? Each actor.
Well, what was the question?
Like what the differences in working on this film with your director-actor relationship versus past projects you've had.
Fortunately, I'm lucky to work. Well, I tell you, I wanted to work with Shunichi for about 7 to 8 years before I even met him, like when, 2 years ago. And so this has been an amazing dream for me to work with him. Amazing dream come true. And I've watched many of his films. And for me, you feel the something inside, longing and yearning to come from you, out or not. And for me, the greatest directors I have ever worked with have been the alluring ones, not and kind of a beckoning you feel from them. It's not so much words, and then all of a sudden, maybe just a little tiny word comes in, and it sinks it in a new way that you hadn't thought of.
Yeah, I was a big observer of a huge fan of Shunji's films before we even met for the audition. But I found, if you're more kind of curious about the language differences on set, it was personally really beautiful because he communicates in a very poetic way, and as you can see, like, the film is very poetic in itself. So I related a lot to that, and yeah. At times it was bewildering having so many people talking. You have no idea what's going on, but that kind of worked really well for my character. So yeah.
Shinji's got a very soft energy. He's a very beautiful person to be around, and I found that essentially you just go in and he lets you play, and gives you like little tidbits to play with and to chew on, and he just let us go, and it was beautiful and fun and really different than any experience I've ever had. I haven't experienced many directors who do that, so it was really special to work with him. He's lovely.
I am relatively new to film. This is actually my first film, so I don't have any other experiences to draw on.
Yes.
But my situation is that, I mean, I had an idea of what it was like to work in film. It's very specific. You stand here, you say that. The lights are so, the script is the way it's supposed to be. But there ended up being a lot more sort of improvisation than I was expecting. Like the vision and the construction was definitely Shinji's, but once you sort of started to do a scene, there would be a fair amount of improvisation, just sort of letting whatever happened. I had a really lovely scene with Rachel, which didn't make it into the film, but we were on a pier and we just sort of like talked about our history and our dad, and it was all totally improvised, which, I mean, I hate improv. I hate it. So I was a bit terrified, sort of being cut loose like that when I was expecting something a bit more rigorous. But it was really lovely, and I think it was when we were doing that scene that I was like, oh, this is actually really lovely and really sort of soft and really liberating and really peaceful, which I think is a really pleasant way to work. And I hope that I have another experience like it. I guess. I mean, I don't know if I ever will, but I hope I do.
You totally will. You're really good. It's true. This court's going to get super interesting. Thanks. My experience working on this film, like everyone before me said, was really wonderful and unique, and just little slices of bewildering thrown in here and there. I think we all spent our first day on set freaking out a fair amount. Well, you probably know that, right? So it was scary, but I think what made it the most different was when you go onto a film set, particularly when you're directly cast into something off of tape. At least I spend the first day saying like, all right, you're approved, you, I deserve to be here. Back in time. And with Shuji, it's like I showed up and the level of trust was just already up here. I mean, to the point that I was worried that he would let me get away with just about anything. And that made me even more terrified. But then I learned to relax, and he let me use my discomfort for the betterment of the film, and hopefully, and for the character, and it ended up being a beautiful experience. Thank you, truly. This has been a Sundance-tastic evening.
My first day was really terrifying because I kind of get naked. That was great. I had 2 action-packed days of working that were very freeing and liberating. A lot of directors will give you direction to, hey, go over there, and he'll give you some sort of bullshit reason why you didn't do it. It doesn't make sense. He'll ask you to do things, and he'll give you an immense amount of trust, as you put it, and really a lot of freedom to create your own character and interact in the world that he's trying to help facilitate.
Thank you. We have time for 2 more questions. This gentleman here.
First of all, I thought you all did very well. I thought it was a very unique film. I thought it was beautifully done, and the pacing and everything was very interesting. And the one part I found to be fascinating was the party, where the vampires were all hanging out. And I was curious as to how much of that came from the actors and how much came from the director. It was very well done. It was unique. And it was interesting and funny. It was a funny moment in the film. So I was just curious what your take on that was.
I thought it was funny too.
scary as well, but it was a fun part of the movie. I was curious how much came from the actors versus how much came from the director.
Well, Shinji wrote the scene that quickly got thrown out as soon as we get there, because he likes to create, like what I said before, an environment and a world, and then let his actors take his trust and run with it. But a lot of it was close to script. The moment that wasn't was when I tried to put my hand on Kevin's hand. It just was very, very clear to me that my character was in love with Kevin. It just seemed like the right thing to do.
One more question?
I was just wondering, I was curious as to why you ended it the way you did. Was there any special significance to that, or did it just feel like it needed to end that way?
I think that was my last idea. Actually, because the scene was supposed to be a talking scene, so I think. Do you know that? Do you know that?
It was this first scene
Yeah,
of the
it-
film, yeah.
Yes, so do you know the scene was now it's at the end of the
Yes.
scene.
Was at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought after editing, so it was my last idea.
I'm sorry, that's all we